thanks for the answering the poll. So we got 70% and 30%. So this is what we are normally looking for. First of all, thank you for all your time. During the lockdown and pandemic, but still, I'm very glad that to see really people are open towards learning, towards that too, online learning, and dedicated their time to learn and equip their knowledge. So this is what we are really expecting from the student community or the faculty community. So we reached Crescent for such opportunities. So to start one, to deliver a webinar for the student community, so that Crescent has given us the opportunity. First of all, we would like to thank Crescent management, the Pro-Chancellor, and in specific to Dr. Ganesh, who is the Director for Placement and Training Cell and Industry Institute Partner Cell. He is one of the person who really support us every time when Talentpepz has to deliver something towards the student community. So thanks for that. We really appreciate your help, sir, at this point, for giving us this opportunity. And then I have to introduce you all our important person, Mr. Narendra Kumar, Director of Instivate Learning Solutions. He has many faces. Which one I should speak about, Naren? You are a blogger, a trainer, an L&D professional, and a filmmaker, right? There are so many faces for him. Has full of knowledge and experience that everyone will cherish. And of course, 1 hour is not enough. I know that. That much knowledge Naren can share and enrich this session. So I'm welcoming Naren for his time and accepting our invitation to deliver this wonderful session. So our session will be moving to the world of better learning with collective responsibility and leadership skills. See, we are in a very crucial moment. World is really going into a crucial moment. Everybody is in a kind of panic towards survival. So how we have to prepare our society, our younger generation, who is going to face the future world challenges collectively with greater responsibility and leadership skills, so that they will be able to face the future world challenges confidently, and they can thrive instead of surviving. So we want to really kill this survival mindset. We don't want anyone to survive, everyone to thrive within the crisis among this, so that they can think very well ahead of time. They can be proactive, make decisions, lead others, help others to bring a better society. I don't want to take so much of time. I have to give sufficient time to Naren. So welcome, Naren, and the table is yours. And thanks once again for Crescent community for this wonderful session. Please, Naren, the floor is yours.
Is my audio audible? Is it clear?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay. Welcome to all the participants. This is a very new kind of a concept in which we have entered. Something which we didn't even dream that we'll be sitting and doing a session in the home. And before March, it was very simple for us. We were all running, having nice time. But today, everybody of us are sitting inside the house. What can a tiny virus do is put billions inside the house. Look at the kind of world which you are moving into. And in my family, fifth generation is also participating in this coronavirus. My grandfather, my aunt's daughter's their granddaughter, and all of them are there. All the 5 generations are seeing these kind of difficulties. However, let me take you to the concept quickly, what we are going to discuss. How you see the future world. The future world actually looks, for some of us, it looks very difficult. Some of us are very positive. We are telling it's going to be a great time. And some of us will feel what to do, right? I'm confused. But nothing to worry. Future has always been bright for a person who's positive. Now we went through the poll. It is very, very happy to see that, right, a lot of people have admitted that they are not aware of VUCA, and we will understand what is this VUCA world all about. But before that, I'd like to tell a small story so that we all get warmed up for learning. Once there was a person who was a middle-aged person who was on the top of a hill sitting and meditating. A youngster came and he asked, I think you're well settled in life, you're having a great time here, you're sitting and meditating. He said, no, no, I got a lot of work to do. That's the reason why I'm sitting and meditating. I need to go back for the work. He said, what kind of work do you have? Tame two vultures, two eagles, two rabbits, one snake, one lion, one donkey, and I need to do all this taming. And this man looked around and no, none of the animals were there. Yes, where are these animals? None of these animals are here. He said, all these animals are within me. And I mean the vulture. A vulture just goes and picks up anything. I mean, it's my hands. Whatever I see, I'm picking up. I shouldn't do that. Eagle, it tries to see here and there. So I need to control my eyes. And next is my legs. The rabbit, which keeps running here and there. Especially in lockdown, I think it is better to stay in home. And next is, there is a snake, which is nothing but my tongue, which tries to talk too much. And then there's a donkey, which feels lazy. That is my body. There's a lion, which feels so proud about life, which is my ego. And I need to tame all these things and I need to come to a control so that I can face the future world, which is going to be different. Now, the term VUCA, we're going to play your video, but before that, I'll tell you the birth of this term. Americans were fighting a war in Afghanistan post 9/11 attack. The war was not so easy because the terrain is different. A lot of caves out there. Tora Bora hills are not so conducive for people to fight. They didn't know from where the rocket launchers are coming, from where the people are attacking. Things were very volatile there. And next is every day was uncertain. Suddenly there's a good climate. Sometimes the climate is not so easy. And it was complex. Right? We enter into one cave, but we come out in some other cave. A lot of ambiguity. Languages were different. The terms were different. And Americans were working on developing weapons to fight in that kind of a scenario. That's how the word VUCA came to the world. But is VUCA something which happened in 1990s? If you closely watch, right, VUCA is the world, right from the day the world is evolved. There's nothing new about this world, if you ask me, right? I remember right from my school days, it's volatile, right? It's uncertain, it's complex, a lot of ambiguity. Now we'll play a video for you to understand.
VUCA World, an acronym of volatility, the speed and turbulence of change, uncertainty, outcomes even from familiar actions are less predictable, complexity, vastness of interdependencies in globally connected economies and societies. And ambiguity has more than one possible meaning and may therefore cause confusion, inexactness. VUCA, the challenge and threat for today's corporate world. VUCA is going to be the new norm.
Okay, it's a very small video, but let me give you an example on this. We all know that by 2030, the world needs to move to electrical cars. Probably after this COVID, there will be some kind of a time the world will get probably an extra time will be given to us. But imagine a situation where a mechanical engineer, an automobile engineer, an electronic engineer, all of them together working on a car, and it's already started. It's not going to be a car factory which was there before 10 years or before 15 years. It's going to be totally new. And the markets are going to be very volatile. The car which sells in India is not going to sell in abroad. And it will take its own sweet time. It's going to be very uncertain in terms of markets because we already saw yesterday's news that Templeton Frankel has dumped around 6 debt equities. Right? This is just to tell how uncertain it is. A lot of complexity because I came to know through one of my clients that they actually sell pumps. If there is a problem in the pump, there will be a noise, and then the person who's attending the pump will tell there's a noise, and then the service engineer will come, he'll replace the ball bearing and all these things. That's what we saw in pumps. But today the pumps are going to be totally different, wherein the pump will be connected with an IoT. If there is an issue, the machine will send a message to the service engineer. The service engineer will pop in and he will adjust the pump and he'll go. It's not going to be easy for a normal person to attempt that pump anymore. And in fact, the cars are also like that. I remember during Chennai floods, one of my friend's car was inside the water for 4 days. He went for a service and I was also with him. And my friend asked, can we do something about putting a second-hand spare parts, or can we try to rework on this entire kit inside the car? The service engineer smiled and he said, sir, everything is automated here and I need to release a key and it is software integrated. Look at the kind of the world in which we all moved. And it's not going to be easy for anybody to just have existing knowledge and go face the new world. All we need to do is my education ready for the next world? Colleges are working very hard, universities are working hard for that. Companies are constantly putting people into learning. I'll just give you an example. India's largest petroleum company like IOCL, they have tied up with around 20 to 30 universities in abroad to offer courses on various energy services in the world. Why is the public sector doing this? Is yes, we do not know what kind of energy that we require in the future. We're talking about green energy. What will happen to the employees out there who are going to work on petrol? They might be working on solar, they might be working on some other energy. So in this past few years, right, what I've been seeing, at least 23 years I've been in this world of training and development. Everything has changed. We have used something called OHP sheets. I think some of the professors who are out there will understand this. We used to write it on a sheet and project it on the screen. People saw it with, wow, what a kind of technology is this? But today I do not know where those machines are. And when I go back to my childhood days, if somebody had a black and white television, he was a very rich man in that society. The entire street used to pay 25 pies or 50 pies to come and see a film. That's the world it was. But today every room has a television. Every mobile is a television. And when I go back to the banking days, it was a wonderful days, those days. Half a day in my life goes if I go to a bank. When I was doing my business, I used to go to bank in the morning at 10 o'clock. By the time I come back, it was 1 o'clock. Because they used to give a token, we need to draw money, we need to put an entry. But now my auditor keeps asking me, can I have a statement? I said, give me 2 minutes time. We just go to internet banking, the app, we just press it, we take it out. And now all these things have happened. And what does it mean is, yes, there are people in my age group who are still new to these apps. There are people who do not know how to use the internet. But imagine if I would have been such a person, or some of my friends would have been such a person, we would have been irrelevant in this world. And there were days where when somebody knows Java, they were seen as a guru of internet. But today, school kids are writing websites. And we know about this computer technology. Today they are talking about Python. Source code is available, learn it at free of cost in the net. But way back in 90s, 67,000 rupees to do a 2 years course on learning what is a computer, how to operate a computer. All these things are changing, and this is the world in which we are going to set our foot. And now, what are those qualities we require? That's what we want to discuss. And I'll be spending some time on this particular area. Fine. The first thing is we need to personally be ready to face all these challenges. And next is we need to develop certain professionalism. And third is, how do we promote ourselves? Students who are out there, let me tell you what is going to happen in the future. Earlier, we had a wonderful concept called placement. This is going to continue for the next few years, no doubt about it. But let me give you it's a very slang word where the job doesn't last for a long time. Gig economy will be requiring experts. You're good at something, you'll be hired by 4 companies, not by 1 company. So in that case, what you need to do is you're going to promote yourself more. And first, let us go through all these processes. If we talk about personal, our yesterday's talent is not going to take us tomorrow. So ultimately, what is it that we are looking at? The world is looking at new ideas. I'll give you a very simple case study that happened before many years. We all remember this concept called KBC, Kaun Bane Crorepati. A lot of people are interested in being a part of this quiz so that they can earn 1 crore. I remember this vaguely happened somewhere in 2001 and 2. But there's a young guy in Delhi who saw so many people interested in attending this quiz competition. What this guy did is, He just compiled all the quiz questions together and he came up with a book called Win Your Way to KBC. This gentleman made a crore. Why am I giving this example is one fresh new idea. Right, today you'll be sitting in a small room in your house. Tomorrow you'll be working in an office with 10 floors. So is Ola, so is Oyo, so is Big Basket. And there are so many businesses out there which is growing because of fresh ideas. And my dear students, if you really want to understand about fresh ideas, I would suggest you to follow a country called Israel, especially a particular place called Tel Aviv. It is a hub of startups. The kind of startups they have is amazingly good. And the startup success ratio is very high there. Now, yes, how quickly is this changing? Let's go back, right? There was a generation of people called stenographers, where father was a stenographer, daughter was a stenographer. For some of you who do not know what this word is, my father is a lawyer. He used to have a stenographer where he used to dictate and they used to write it in shorthand. And then the gentleman out there types. And this is the kind of work that happened. But today, the job is not there. I remember those days we used to go hire a video cassette to see a film. But today, in my home, every room is either busy with Netflix or with Amazon. It's totally changed. And what do we require now is continuous development. There's no doubt about because at the end of the day, in manufacturing, there's a very nice word they use. It's called Kaizen. This is data which tells that Toyota has generated closer to around 30 lakh ideas. 30 lakh ideas is definitely very good because a company which was not into car manufacturing was actually manufacturing spinning mills. They started the journey in such a way that the chairman of Toyota's mother was finding it very difficult to weave it in the hand. So they came up with an automated spinning mill in those days. The journey started there. But today they are one of the largest car companies in the world. And for the past 2.5 decades, they are in Fortune 500 company. And the reason is they believe in Kaizen. And they've been innovating and reinventing often. And we know what is their success today. And yes, earlier technology was not spoken, but today we require a lot of technical help. To me, to operate this, I just started at 4:15, trying to understand how this Zoom works, though I'm doing a lot of work with Zoom. And tomorrow morning, we do not know what kind of technology will come, especially in IT industry. They are telling Python, and day after tomorrow, they'll tell Black Mamba, or they'll give any snake's name and they'll tell, here is the technology for you. Learn it. I had a friend of mine in those days whom we call as computer wizard. I'm talking about 96. This guy is too good in computers, but today he does not know anything in computers. Because what he studied that day, he felt it was great. But after that, he never upgraded. And he is happy doing a job with few thousands which he gets per month. When I asked him, why is it that you didn't upgrade? He said, no, this is enough. And now, I do not know what has happened after COVID-19, whether his seat is available for him or not. I need to check out with my friends who are there in jobs and who are not there. Okay, now the word agility is how fast are we? Now you're seeing a car there. I never ever imagined that Sony will make a car. It is something which I never even thought in my dreams that an electronic company will make a car. But one of my friend who's in automobile industry, he sent this image and he sent me a PDF that Sony is making a car. I just went through the concept. What Sony is telling is most of the sensors in the electronic car is given by us, in the electric car is given by us. So we thought, why don't we do an R&D and come up with a car? And they came up with a concept car and it was also shown to the world. But they also said that they don't have plans to enter the car market now. Probably we do not know. Tomorrow they might enter. Earlier cars were competed like this. BMW competing with Mercedes-Benz, Toyota competing with Honda, but nobody expected Tesla and Google to make cars. So my dear youngsters who are out there, I'll tell you friends, right, you are going to be a part of this revolution. Who knows? You might be very good in embedded technology. You might be very good in hybrid kind of an automobile technology. Tomorrow, Sony will open a plant somewhere near Tada and you're going to have a fantastic time out there. There is an article which we read before few days. It's all speculation, which is still not clear. 1,000 companies in the world, manufacturing companies, are willing to come to India, and at least 300 have shown interest officially. So after COVID, if somebody feels the life will go back 5 years, there's not going to be future. You would have heard a lot of people talking all these things, but I see that my second innings is going to start. At the age of 48, I'm very confident that yes, I can become very rich, what I was not in this 23 years. Because there's so much opportunities out there. The only thing is, the next slide will make us understand whether we are there in the race or not. Yeah. Now, the word learning agility, we have divided it into five components. The first thing is, everything starts with us only. Are we aware of what is happening around us? Are we aware about our inner world? One of the greatest discovery in the world is not US. It is not a virus. It is discovering ourselves. When I mean this is, right, am I regularly identifying my strengths and weakness? Some of the students sitting out here would have undergone a lot of soft skill programs. Their soft skill trainers would have come and told you, take a piece of paper, write your strength, write your weakness. And whenever you want to attend a job interview or employability skills, the training that I told you, tell me something about yourself. Probably you would have felt this is boring, right? Let me tell you, my dear friends, right? If understanding yourself is boring, I'll tell you the world itself is boring.
Correct. Rightly said.
Right? If I don't spend time with myself, I'll tell you nobody will spend time with me. Right? This is the greatest thing what I've understood. And when I made my first management film, there is a particular quote which actually motivated me to do that management film. I used to finish sessions with an institute called Academy of Maritime Education and Training. I used to train them on employability skills. So those who are familiar with Chennai, there's a place called Gemini Bridge. Near Gemini Bridge, somewhere on the walls, there's a nice quote which said that unexamined life is not worth living. Every day I used to get down there, I used to see that word, and very slowly it got into my mind. And then I started questioning, am I examining my life? And I was going there as a visiting faculty and doing sessions for them. Then I decided, what am I doing at a young age? Doing some work, but I'm not building a company. And then slowly I got into building my company. And thanks to that particular quote, which was told by Socrates. Now, after the session is over, I'm sure that we all will be busy with Netflix. We have a lot of series to see. And probably some of us would have ordered Swiggy to have some nice dinner. And Ramadan has started. Yes, even I'm waiting for Halim from my friends. Okay. Not only my Ramadan season used to happen in Hyderabad, where evening I used to go for Halim. But today it is not that. But anyhow, a lot of strength weakness analysis you can do for yourself, because if you identify your strength, I'll tell you the world is for you. Because when I said gig economy is, they're not going to conduct an interview. Probably they'll call you for a discussion. They'll ask you a question. What are you good at? If you tell I'm good at doing all these things, they'll tell, no, let us sample out. Why don't you do this work? And we'll be paid per hour for that. And it is not going to be an economy where they'll put you into an induction. 6 months happily learn, 6 months salary is paid, and 7th month the team leader is there. Friends, let's be mentally prepared. This is not going to be the world. It's going to be the world where a lot of entrepreneurs are going to churn out. And one of my friends has already started working on a website before a year itself, wherein you put your resume inside. He calls it as some robotics, whatever the word he uses. That will identify your strengths. It will identify what kind of companies will be searching for you for what kind of assignments. And then they will sell this data to the company, and the companies will call you and tell, why don't you do a development for me? Why don't you do this work for me? And there's a Chennai-based company which is going to get ready in the next 1 year from now. So if you want to write your resume, I'll tell you, unless and otherwise, you are going to spend time on yourself. Writing a resume is going to be very difficult. And let me tell you one thing, cut, copy, paste is not going to work. Not now. Before 7 years, I came across a technology wherein one of my friends told me this. He was working with a French-based company. I asked, how do you guys scan a resume? He said, boss, we don't sit in the room, we take it in the hand and see it. The resume is there in the system. We got a technology which studies the keywords. and then they know whether this resume has got plagiarism because some words would have been lifted from internet. They know whether this character is genuine or not. And if the resume matches their requirement, the resume goes to the HR telling that column for an interview. If it doesn't match, it goes to the bin. These technologies are there, so I would suggest you to watch out what is happening there. And next is mental agility is something what we've been working on. Write about your problems you have solved in your life, because they're not going to ask you a hypothetical question. How are you going to do things? They're going to ask you a question. What kind of problems have you solved? So, my dear youngsters who are there, or in your first year or second year or third year, whichever year you are, get into doing mini projects, because that's the place where you're going to solve projects. And in your resume, yes, your scores will matter, your no grades will matter, but your projects matters a lot. When you go and tell that we solved a problem for a water-based company to automate this, I'll tell you that is the story they would like to listen to. And next important thing is you need to work with people. Right? When you're going to work with people, identify what are your people's strengths, identify what are your people weaknesses. Some of you might be very good at relating with people. Some of you will be a loner. Some of you will be an individual contributor. So once you identify yourself, it is easy for you to pitch in into kind of jobs that you're looking at, the kind of assignments you're looking at. Because not everybody will gel with the world. Some of you will be individually too good. So you should understand this particular strength, and you should start looking into a career in that angle. And next is whether we like it or not, right? Change. We've done enough of programs on this. I've done more than 150 programs on change management for the past decade. When we tell change, the next word that comes to our mind is Nokia. I remember we were attending a program. The head of Nokia sales asked us this question: how many of you had Nokia? That's the question he asked us before 3 years. In that hall, everybody raised the hand out of 150. And the next question he asked is, how many of you don't have Nokia now? And all the hands were down. Why am I quoting this? Is a company with 86% market share only in India lost everything because they didn't change. There was a very interesting story he told when he was traveling with the CEO of Nokia. The CEO of the Nokia with a Finnish accent said this: look, my dear gentlemen, the food companies cannot damage us. He meant BlackBerry and Apple. But today, Apple is staying and BlackBerry is not. And now, are you ready for a change? Are you ready to learn through e-learning? Let me tell you one thing, my dear friends. Days are going to come where companies will ask you, how much of e-learning have you done? How much of hours you have spent on self-development and self-learning and learning new technology other than the engineering college subjects? And these certificates, these hours is going to measure your self-discipline. And then they know that this person is capable of working in the home, this person is capable of working without a manager. And yes, it is already started. Yes, we are seeing a lot of people are working at home, and this is going to be the key. Yes, before 20 years, my friend started an e-learning company, and he struggled for nearly 15 years to make people learn on the internet. Thanks to me, thanks to Baiju, and Talentpepz is also coming up in a big way on all these things. And now it's time that you need to slowly start venturing into learning in this particular technology. And now, right, when we talk about result agility, is at the end of the day, what matters is what did you achieve. If I'm going to run a company, I'm going to ask you what are your achievements in your academic, say, days. I vaguely remember once in a HR forum, somebody told me this. I don't mind hiring a person whose academic score is low, but I would like to see the same person and what did he achieve other than academics. And that makes a sense because this person has got that achievement orientation. And in one of the forums, a student asked a HR person, is there anything wrong in having an arrear? That person said, there's nothing wrong in having an arrear, but do you have cups and medals and certificates in your home other than academics? If you have all those things and if you have an arrear, it's okay for us. But if you don't have a score, and if you don't have awards, rewards, and certificates, then it's time that we need to seriously think what kind of achievements are we going to do in life. This particular slide, if you're going to take it, imbibe it inside you, I'll tell you, the VUCA world is just yet another world for you. Do not worry about this term, right? It started with army. It started with say attack and all these things. But for a person who's doing business, I think Mr. Fazlur will agree with me. We've been in the VUCA world right from the day we started business.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. Every
Every
minute.
minute is VUCA. We do not know who will buy, who will not buy,
Yeah,
right? Who will pay, who will not pay. And VUCA per se for an entrepreneur is just yet another word.
yeah,
But for the youngsters who are out there who already done a ranking, now you go outside after this program and ask your friends and ask them what is VUCA, and they will tell I heard about it, and they'll Google it and they'll tell. But you tell VUCA in a different angle. You said VUCA is nothing if you know who you are.
you're right.
Okay, now
So just to add on this slide, Narain,
yeah,
see, you mentioned very clearly that self-awareness is very, very important. So what I'm just thinking at the moment is there are around 50 participants listening to this session. So Talentpepz will send a free psychometric assessments to everyone, which will assess their professional profile, their emotional stability, and their smart logic area, so that they will be able to understand their strength and weaknesses. So we will be glad to share that, and then post generation of the results. Even if they want to reach us for 30 minutes of free consultations, Talentpepz will be glad to provide that 30 minutes consultations. So this is a privilege. I am asking all the participants to utilize. So after this seminar, probably our IT team will coordinate and send tomorrow the assessment links to you. So once you complete the assessment, you can avail a 30 minutes free consultation with us to understand what is your real strength and the area of development you have to focus on. Yeah, please continue.
after listening to what you said, what I feel is I think I should have been born in 2000. A lot of freebies are coming, right? And the people who are out there, I'll tell you, my dear friends, it's very, very important to do a psychometric test every year because we were promoting this test for nearly 20 years. I'll just add something very important here. I met a doctor once, and he was very doubtful about my chest congestion, and he was thinking twice in terms of suggesting to take an X-ray. Then I asked the doctor, what are you say waiting for? No, I think you want to tell something. He said, no, you are young. I don't want to bother you by making you take an X-ray. I predict something, but let me try to clarify it. I said, nothing to worry, sir. I'll get it done. And then he said, yeah, you got a bronchitis allergy, and for the next 30 days, use this rotahaler and inhale it. You'll become all right. When I finished this treatment, I came out and I was just wondering, even an expert doctor requires a report to know whether my health is good or not. Come on, my dear friends. So why don't you take a test which is developed based on so many criteria by experts across the world to know who you are? Nothing wrong in that, right? Every year I take up my own test. I go to Strength Finder and I identify my strengths. And let me give you a short thought on this. Before 2 years, I went and took up a test online to identify my core strengths. And very surprising was I expected that I'm creative and I expected that to be my core strength. But the result said I'm strategic. I couldn't believe myself because that's a subject which I didn't like in my MBA days. It's called strategic management, which used to put me to sleep. And then I went through the document and then I tried to understand what it was. The next 1 week, I met a coach. And the coach who actually coached me, he said, why do you feel you're not strategic? Then I said, right, no, somewhere down the line, I feel I'm creative. He said, nothing to worry. And then he started questioning me about my business, the kind of changes I made, the kind of changes I brought to my client in their business. And then he said, all these things are strategic thinking, but you were thinking it is creative. And then I got an opportunity with Hyundai to do a program called strategic management. And I went, I spoke to them and I gave a proposal and they liked it. And after that, they opened the gate and I did around 13 to 14 programs on strategic management. Why am I quoting this example here is, if you can assess yourself I'll tell you, you'll feel so happy that you got so many good things in you, so many strengths in you. And it comes like a platter in your hands, my dear friends. Just accept it and take it. And now, the most important thing is today we are in a world where, right, experts call it as personal branding. Let's get in, sorry, professionalism. Yes, this is what finally matters. Right, whatever you're going to do today, please remember that it is going to reflect in 2025. And there's a book called Death of Death, which was supposed to release last year, which is not yet released. One of my friend who used to talk about that book. By 2030, the world is trying to end death, but Corona came all the way and stopped their plans. It's okay. That book has got an interesting insights, and the insight is they want to correct all the disease when the child is born, so that the meaning is people will not die out of disease. Okay, now why am I quoting this is the world out there is talking about 2030, the world out there is talking about 2025, and we know what Elon Musk is doing, and we know what say Japanese are doing. They already started establishing factories in India. They started establishing a lot of factories in the rest of the world because they know that Japan is not conducive for manufacturing in the next few years from now. So, should start looking into life in such a way that, right, am I getting ready for the future? And what is the best way to get ready for the future is be humble, accept your weakness, be ready for change, and don't feel proud about the technology what you know today, because tomorrow the technology will become a dinosaur. And that's what now we would like to tell at this juncture here. And now, yes, I am a brand. Why did we bring this thought? I am a brand here is in a gig economy, individuals are brands. In an organization, individuals are brands. So if you want to brand yourself, you should be very clear about who you are. You should be very clear about what kind of person you are, and that's the reason why I spent a lot of time on that learning agility slide. And today, Facebook is there, Twitter is there, Insta is there, and then you got LinkedIn. And friends, it's time that you should connect based on your interest with people. Suppose you would like to do a technical writing, you would like to spend time on, say, robotics. Ensure that you connect with people who show interest in robotics. In Instagram, follow companies who are actually into robotics. So all your social media should work for your ambition, and never get into any kind of controversial discussion which is not of you in the social media, because people are watching you. And why am I telling this is, if all your social media is about your ambition, you will be spotted. In LinkedIn, you might get an opportunity to speak to. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah. In LinkedIn, you might get an opportunity to meet a professor who is looking out for an youngster who is doing a lot of work in terms of robotics. Who knows? He will invite you and tell, why don't you come and study in UK or US? So that's how you're going to work for the next few years. And if you do all these things, I'll tell you, you're there in the race. And today, everything is in the hand, right? It's a plus and minus because most of the time people are just seeing the mobiles. And even in, the love happens in mobile. I remember once my son, he texted me from the first floor asking, are you coming for the dinner? I said, the first floor to ground floor is not too far. Why don't you come and call me personally? He said, when the devices is there, why should I call you? Okay, that's another side of device. But it's time that you need to brand yourself, right? Learn to write a resume which spells who you are. And the world is out there for you, my dear friends. It is not only for youngsters, as I made a statement that my second innings is going to begin, and we are awaiting for this. I have say one slide to show you. Okay, now you're seeing wonderful brands on the screen, and all these brands have been there for many, many years. Why they've been there for many years? The answer is very simple. They just reinvented. It is not because of the word Coke. Coke is existing there. The Coke has been there for nearly 140 years. And it is said that Coke's say budget or Coke's net worth, the brand Coke, is GDP of 6 countries. And every brand, and Facebook, we saw what happened, right? They just happily sat the home, work at home. Mark Zuckerberg was working at home. Mukesh Ambani was working at home. What happened in work at home is he sold his stake, and you are a brand, and you can keep identifying yourself more to what you want to be in life. I would like to conclude this session with a very simple thought. Every one of us out there would like to earn, but if you want to earn, just add one alphabet in front of earn. It's called L, learn. And if you want to keep earning, add the same alphabet L there. Keep learning. Right? Your earning is proportionate to your learning. I wish you a great success in this VUCA world, and I'm waiting just like you to come to an end and go out and meet my friends and bid farewell to Corona as soon as possible. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent, Naren. You nailed it. Thanks for that. And see, it's a great session. Indeed, Naren was sharing with lots of things. Almost you gave 20 years in a very nutshell, I think, in 45 minutes. Huh? Okay, thanks for that. So hope you all enjoyed the session. In continuation of what Naren has told, what we were discussing within the student community for the past 2 years is about the VUCA world. Volatility will be there everywhere. Uncertainty will be new normal for our life. So what we have to do is, as Naren told, we have to keep our learning a continuous action. And I saw a question from one named Kalpa. She is asking, what type of learning I have to really focus on. It is the topic like self-development, concepts like VUCA, or topics related to our technical concepts and trends in my field. It's a real good question. When it comes learning, see, it is a balanced way of taking the efforts. Okay, to be successful in the arena of employment, or in the business world, or in the corporate world, we need a set of skills. Usually corporate world is seeing the skill set in 4 areas. It is core, and then support, and then business, and then behavioral and leadership. So you have to be best in your core skills, that is your technical part, and then support, which is related to your technical parts, and then business, which is very much important. If you are not able to understand to which organization or which business you belongs to, you will not be able to shine at all. And then the personal development side, like people skills, behavioral skills, interpersonal, intrapersonal, anything you mean it. So it is a combination of skill sets. You have to look into it. So you define a core area of, say, like 25% each, if you are going to give the importance, or if your technical area requires more importance, you can just shift the focuses into like say like 35% for your core and support, and 30% for your business, and rest of it for the personal and behavioral and leadership kind of development. So you have to decide and be balanced, but don't stop learning. If you are going to stop learning, you will be completely outdated, and at a point your agility will come down. Agility is nothing but you have to think fast, act fast, understand fast, and act fast. How much fast? That is what defining our success today. So we at Talentpepz, what we help the people is to develop the new age mindset, new age skills. We call it as 21st century skill sets. So we help people to develop as a whole, as Kalpavarsha rightly asked. It is about developing as a holistic person. You need your technical as well as your personal, so that you can be so balanced. So we are helping with psychometric assessments, mentoring, a long-term hand-holding of mentoring, and then e-learning also is there. And we do have a personalized development plan for the people, those who are joining with us for 6 months or 8 months, 12 months or 18 months. We will be taking them throughout a hand-holding journey to make sure that there is a certain degree of transformation is happening, so that they will be successful and they will be able to align their goals in their life. Why Talentpepz has come into the Indian market is it is quite interesting. If you're going to ask anyone, any students, most of the students around some last 6 months during counseling, around 300 students I met, and most of the students say around 90%. That is the sad thing. 90% of the students, they are telling, I'm not into the learning platform, or I am not doing my graduation that what I wish for. So I'm doing something which is not interesting to me and which I don't like also. See how they will be able to cope up in their life in the future when they are doing something which don't like. So there is a passion, there is a need. So we have to align that. So Talentpepz is fully focusing on supporting the people to develop their skill with the balance of their personal passion, commitment, enthusiasm, and so many leadership areas we are focusing on. And there is one more question: how to identify our gaps to become a professional. That's why we told we will be sharing the psychometric assessments, and through psychometric assessments you can identify your strengths and the area of development. And the best way is find a mentor. You can always have a mentor. See, previously in the last generation, as well as my generation, every people, my uncle, my aunt, my grandma, everyone, even the carpenter who is visiting to my house is a mentor for me. He will be teaching me something very valuable. So we learned from everyone, and people guided us. So try to find a mentor who can help you in every way to understand who you are, what is your strength, and guide you properly. Or if you feel that no, I don't find a right person, there are so many platforms nowadays, offering coaching and mentoring help, like Talentpepz. I'm not telling only Talentpepz. There are many platforms, and there are SMEs are available else across the world, like Naren. There are many SMEs available across the world to help people voluntarily. So you have to identify the right people within the social media network. Publish your thing. That is why we say that do your personal branding, attract people to come to you, and people will definitely help you. And one more question is, it's COVID-19 crisis for everyone. Due to this, people who are going to start their career, how they will be affected? What is in your view in it, sir? Naren, they are asking.
First and the foremost thing is be safe, be inside the home. It's a sweet place. For all you know, is schools and colleges will come up with new methods of teaching, and it will be a blended learning. And in what way it will be affecting their career is, yes, they'll need to learn in a new methodology. That will be an impact on them. But I'm sure that the entire world will quickly move towards technology, and all the schools and colleges will be forced to change their syllabus at a rapid speed. So you need not worry about that, because we have already seen Singapore has already done off with papers a long time ago. And after 2 o'clock in Singapore, the schools doesn't function to teach. It functions to identify a person's strengths, and they explore more. So you need not worry about how it is going to be. The only thing is be prepared to learn continuously, so that there is a career. And there's a lot of good news that is out there. Let me give you a thought on how it is going to be. A lot of entrepreneurship models will get ready. You will be having a 2 solar panel and 1 electrical charge point, and you'll be charging a car, and you'll be a businessman by yourself. Those days are not too far. And in what way it is going to affect? Yes, probably my old skills might not help me. I need to move towards the new skills. That's it.
Yeah, that's what I want to add. See, keep continuing to see forward, futuristic, think futuristic. That is very, very important. Technology is going to change. Everything is going to be volatile. That is what we want to again and again. Why we are reiterating is whether be it political, social, economic, technology, legal, or environment. We call it the PESL as an acronym. So all these is going to be ever changing hereafter. It is going to be so dynamic. So we have to keep ourselves more dynamic. We have to equip ourselves with the right skills. Now we have so much of distraction, so we don't feel it in a way that we are not having time to equip our skills. No, try to be moderate, try to be balanced. It is the we discussed it in the learning agility factors. If you go back to that slide, you will be able to recollect that we need balance and be agile in everything. We have to be agile mentally, we have to be agile with people, we have to be agile with change, we have to be agile with results. So keep yourself upbeat and fast so that you can thrive in the VUCA world. That is where we want to really emphasize on. And I think we are almost nearing the session completion. So we can take one or two more questions. People who are interested to ask question, please, you can raise your question. Any questions, please? We welcome one or two more questions. We can take one or two more questions. So I think Naren, if there is no question, means you made the points so clear. That is what I think. That's why there is no questions. Correct? I have to conclude it like that. So can we all get connected in any platforms? Yeah, definitely. Mr. Naveen Kumar is asking, so can we all get connected in any platform? Of course, we will be bringing the networking platform soon, where we will be launching it in a very, very short period. But meanwhile, we have your contacts, so we will always be in touch with you. You can, any sort of consultations, any help, okay, you can reach us. We have professionals who are ready to help you. So just you have to come forward what you require. And one Mr. Sanjay Kumar is asking, is our education system planting creative ideas in our youth's mind? Okay.
Okay. I'll just address it in a very simple way. Right, a proactive person will not wait for education system to be creative. He will create himself.
Exactly.
Because it is our life. Let us not worry about what the world outside is going to do. But if I want to succeed, I need to become creative. And I'm seeing a lot of changes in our education, because what I saw in Madras University in 1994 when I did my MBA, and now what I'm seeing, there are definitely a lot of changes. Project-based learning has already started, and colleges have already brought in a lot of experts. I once I was there in Crescent Engineering College through SAE, and they were doing wonderful sessions for automobile engineers. And before many years, I was there in Crescent addressing students on how to write resume. And yes, colleges are also doing all their part they can. Right. So I would suggest you to take the reins in your hand rather than waiting for somebody to give it in your hands.
And to add on, this generation is so blessed. Everything is available online. Previously, if I want to get any bit of knowledge, I have to search for the library, go get access. When I ask that particular book, someone will be proactive than me, and they might have taken that book, and I have to wait for 7 days, 8 days, to get that book. But nowadays, everything is online, so knowledge is so widely available within the internet. You can, only thing is we need to be proactive to learn. And as you are asking, Mr. Sanjay, education system is a foundation. Okay, so it gives an awareness or to a knowledge level. So to improve it as a skill level, it is our part. We have to work hard and we have to build on our knowledges continuously so that we will be able to shine ourselves. So have you ever heard anyone who have shined only with their education? Or even if they are very creative in their schools or colleges, are they shining outside their schools and colleges? I think it's very difficult. It is only the personal skill sets development, how proactive they are, how much people friendly they are, how outspoken they are, how confident they are. All these things will really fuel into their success. We hope we answered your question. Okay, sir, can we get a certificate for this webinar? Okay, see, we can give you a certificate, that's not a problem, but as I told you, it is all the key knowledge takeaways, the credential you have to see, but still, if you are a student and if you really feel that it is going to work, please reach our admin at talentpepz.com. Write a mail with your email ID, your number, which college you are from, your contact details, all these things. Please share. We will give you definitely the certificate of attendance for this webinar. Any other questions? So we are just on time. Good initiatives. Thank you so much, and thank you everyone. So once again, thanks Naren for this great opportunity, great time and great knowledge sharing. And once again, I'm thanking for the Crescent team and all the participants who are, energetically attended the whole session. I'm seeing that, the numbers have didn't drop down. So that means that we have made the very valuable input to them. So thank you everyone, and wishing you all success, and be safe, stay home and be blessed, and soon we all will network and thrive. Thank you so much.